Hello and welcome to another edition of Backseat Ballers. This is in studio where we get into actual business and mechanics and all that kind of stuff. Later on today, we're going to jump into the Jag and go for a ride, and we're going to get personal with Aaron Black, founder and partner
Yes, sir.
of Black Stack Security, based in Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas.
KC Yep.
KC Mo.
Tech 9.
Yep, love Tech. Love me some Tech 9.
No, very glad to be here. Happy that, well, I was going to say happy that we reconnected from the Army, but we don't remember anything in the Army anyway, so.
Yeah, isn't that wild? So technically, we have known each other for 18 years.
Yeah, 06?
Yeah, 06.
Well, when did you go?
20 years.
Oh,
That's 20 years.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
2 decades.
Yep.
But you were a stranger this
Yeah,
time
we did.
last year.
Yeah. Yeah. It was funny. You were asking me if I remembered you doing snow cones,
Yeah.
and I had no recollection of that.
You did remember the shoulder fly incident at the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't
So
need to get
there's
into
always that.
that.
Oh, fun times for sure.
The hazards of combat.
Right. Self-inflicted at times,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely. And sometimes not remotely related to combat.
Wild.
Oh, man. So this is why I try not to exercise. It can be the death of you.
I was going to, here in this podcast room, I'm going to walk a straight line.
Yeah. So let's, so first off, let's start off. Give us a little bit of background about your company, how people, who your demographic is, and if they're needing security services.
Yeah, absolutely. The company started, me and my partner, we started it in July 2023. In my living room, we actually started it because we had a large client that wanted security that was going to move away from their current provider for multiple reasons. And we said, this is going to work. So we spent, a substantial amount of money up front to start the company. There's tons of costs, especially when you have, when you're a service provider and there's so many regulations and rules around security in general, anyone with a badge on their chest, so startup cost was, I would say, significant. Got the company started, reached out to the client. They said, oh, never mind. We're just going to stick with what we have. So now we have a company.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
So they had given you verbal commitment.
Correct. Yes.
Enough
Email,
to make you do all this.
meetings in person, phone calls.
Okay. And then you do everything they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they go,
Actually, this was a property management company. They just put the accountability on the owner. Oh, the owner said we're not going to make any switches. Well, you could have told me that in the last 6 months. Surely you had some idea, or you were just,
they're full of it.
Yeah, just full of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have this company.
Okay.
Now our dreams are shattered.
Yeah.
Now we're like, well, this isn't going to work at all. But it was a great reminder of nothing comes easy, especially as a business owner. And the grind started that day. So, networking is my preferred way of meeting new clients. So we're out there going door to door, calling our friends, other business owners we know. Finally got a break with one hotel down on the plaza. That was our first contract.
Okay.
Had uniformed security guards there 24/7, multiple. So it was a pretty great deal. Now we're
How long did it take you from the day you formed? I mean, whenever, I don't know at what point you consider yourself formed as an entity,
right
to getting that hotel contract.
5 months.
Wow.
Yes.
And you didn't have a job during this 5 months.
We
Or
both
you were working
we were both doing both. I mean, having our day
working a
job.
job and trying to get a contract.
Correct. Yeah. So it was just a lot of energy and effort.
Now, were you two part of the 24-hour security guards at first?
Absolutely. Yeah. I
On
mean,
the shift.
after the Army, it's just natural to go in security, law enforcement,
Yeah.
prison guard, some sort of nature like that.
Yeah, no, I watched all the payments done to the Sons of Iraq and thought, I need to get into the money business.
Right. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different facets of you could view from your Army career to go into, right?
Oh yeah. No. And I was artillery, so if I didn't go to security or police, I could work at a cannon museum maybe, but what else am I going to do?
Museum. I know. I always joke that unless the mob was hiring, I didn't really know what my skill set applied to.
No, absolutely. And so so we got our first client. This was December. So we started in July, got the big FU from that company.
Yep.
Now we have the groundwork for something great. Now we've both been in security for 15 plus years, multiple companies, multiple levels, both managerial, pretty much at the top of the companies we were with. So we understood the business, both bottom level security guards at one time as well. So we understood that aspect. So we got in there and said, hey, we got to make this happen regardless. Sometimes we're going to work 12-hour shifts and there's no money to pay us.
Yeah.
Which is fine. This is what we signed up for.
Yep.
Well, this is not what we signed up for. We signed up for, here's a golden spoon, enjoy.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
But the reality of everything hits.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so, what is this? May 26, we're over 40 employees. We have tons of different clients all throughout Kansas City.
Awesome office.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love your office.
Appreciate it,
Bold.
man.
I love bold.
Yeah. Yeah. And the red and the just so we have our own offices. We got mobile vehicles now. We have a dispatch center starting up the monitoring side, which includes cameras partnered along with physical security response. In Kansas City proper, they are down at a minimum 500 officers.
Wow.
Now, the community district officer that I met with said it's more like 1,000. So all the police on duty are pulling overtime. They're prioritizing calls for, high priority murder, violence, domestic. So if you have an issue and you're calling 911, nothing against the city or 911, you're going to wait on hold.
Yeah.
The call taker is going to take your call. And if it's something minor, you're going to wait for hours or they're just not going to show up. They're going to assume that problem resolved itself. Oh. So that's what makes private security intriguing for business owners, property managers, places that need a person on site or at least need someone to come if something bad happens. Unfortunately, World Cup's coming. Where do you think all these police are going? They're going to be at the stadium. They're going to be at the hotels where the teams are staying.
Yeah.
What happens when you call 911? Well, unless maybe nothing, unfortunately. So there's a wide opportunity for security, not only because, the police are underfunded, they're understaffed, and the response times are not acceptable, but also just because crime continues to increase. Vehicle break-ins is probably the biggest issue I see in Kansas City. Car thefts. My car got stolen out of my driveway. Out of the driveway. Yeah. All they left was the door handle.
So that's just like it's like the guy that owns the lawn care company's lawn's never mowed, the painter's house is never painted. The guy that owns the security company's own car's getting stolen.
Well, yeah, that changed. I got rid of the Hyundai. That's and
is that a popular car to be stolen?
Hyundais and Kias, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because they're easy?
They are easy, and for Kia specifically, TikTok was big on promoting vehicle theft. So there was these TikTokers called the Kia Boys.
Okay.
And they put out videos. Hey, here's how you take this Kia. You plug this in. It blew up. And it's like a countrywide phenomena with Kia specifically.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. So
not that I would ever, but
of course now I got a non-stealable car, or at least a car that's much more harder to take. Yeah. Cameras, all that. But before then I was like, oh, this is a great neighborhood. Nothing's going to happen. Well, lo and behold, my car's gone when I wake up. And
wow.
Yeah.
So. All right. So let's get into what I'd really like to talk about in this is like specifically business related lessons. So getting out of the Army, coming out of artillery, what lessons do you think you took from the Army that made you good in business? Any?
Resilience.
Resilience.
So the Army gave
Did
me
you do a lot of spreadsheets in artillery?
none.
QuickBooks?
Nope.
Were you responsible for everybody's payroll?
I did nothing related to business and artillery. I did what I was told, but what I learned was being able to persevere through discomfort,
Awesome.
which came into handy as an example of, oh, I have this company and my client said, F you, what do I do?
What do I do?
You had to be resilient to that adversity. You had to persevere through meeting 1,000 people and getting rejected. No, not interested. Maybe letter.
Yeah. I always found just trying to date prepared me for that.
Yeah. You'll get a number eventually. Keep asking. I'm horrible at. I won't say horrible. I don't enjoy cold sales.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know anyone that does. You have to be a sociopath.
It's just not whatever. At least when I go now that I'm established, they have some interest or need for security, or they're currently using it. So there's a baseline of interest for the services, but just cold, I feel awkward.
Gotcha. So you get in this business.
Yep.
How challenging was it to learn the things that you had to know, the tangible things, the QuickBooks, the accounting, managing payroll, managing cash flow?
Yeah. So fortunately not difficult. So I do have an MBA. I was at another
from Phoenix or DeVry?
UMKC.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Local degree there.
UMKC, what's their, are they Tigers? What are they?
Roos. Kangaroos.
What?
Roos. Yeah. Little kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
I know.
Didn't see that one coming.
But you don't say kangaroo, you say roo.
Oh.
R-O-O. Yep.
Are they like a sister university to Australia?
You know, I think there's another, maybe Warrensburg has a weird mascot that's similar to a kangaroo. But no. So
all right. So you're UMKC, the Roos.
Yeah. Got my MBA while I'm at a security firm that I'm already doing all the top level HR
so
related.
And you started off there as a security guard.
Yes.
Out of the Army.
Correct.
Worked your way up. And so you kind of learned on the job, and we're going to school, getting an MBA.
Right.
And there you learn the like day-to-day management tasks.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the opportunity to be a recruiter there. Then I became the recruiting manager, then the HR manager. In HR, I handled everything from payroll to scheduling to employee complaints to, long-term growth plans, just anything. Most of it was out of I didn't know this stuff. So if I'm asked by the owner of a company, do A, B, and C, I'm going to learn it and figure it out and make it happen. So it gave me the opportunity to learn on my feet in real time. And that forced me to be efficient with how I operate. So the administrative tasks of the company now, they just come naturally. I'm so used to doing it. And fortunately, since I started as that bottom entry-level employee, I can relate to the issues that officers are having or shortcomings that I've seen with other security companies that I've experienced firsthand. So I feel like it gives me an upper foot on being able to handle administration, operations, and the only new thing with my company is client contact. This is the first time that I've actually been in front of the clients, that I'm there reassuring them.
The only new task that is on your plate now.
Correct. Yeah.
That you didn't do in some form or fashion at your previous security firm is client interaction.
Yeah. Client acquisition, client, I don't know what the word is, where you complete the sale.
Yeah. Close the deals, baby.
Yeah.
The rainmaker. You've become the rainmaker.
Hey, someone has to do it.
Right.
Someone has to do it. Right. So now when I go meet clients, I'm comfortable. And I think what sets me apart is I'm just down to earth. I absolutely despise the conference table where everyone has their hands there and everyone's, talking in turn and very professional. They're like holding back.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're all human. Everyone can relate to certain issues. And if you just be yourself,
Yeah.
That's probably the most magnetic thing about someone.
I wholeheartedly agree. So have you systematized, processed, turned anything into acronyms? Is there any like principles that have really stood out that you've integrated into your business that you instill in everybody that works for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my partner is a master of operations, I would say.
Okay.
He's done operations his entire security career, at the sheriff's department, in the jails, at private security firms.
So what's operations in the security world? He's a master of operations.
Strictly dealing with the flow of officers, scheduling. Are the employees up to date on procedures, the rule book? Has everyone read the employee handbook? Do we know the process for, calling in, or anything that deals with those frontline officers?
Yeah.
He runs pretty much from top to bottom. Of course, I have input when needed, or if he asks for assistance, but it works really well because he loves it. That's what he's great at. That's why he was the ideal partner to start the company with.
And did you guys meet at the previous security firm?
So actually, before I got into private security, I guess this can be considered security. I worked at a youth behavioral hospital called KVC.
Okay.
I was in, I don't want to say crazy kids, but kids with behavioral issues.
Yeah.
That's where we met, 2012. So we both worked with the kids. I was there about 2 years, enjoyed it, loved helping. It was a wild time for sure.
I volunteered at the Chino Boys Home, Chino Boys Club or Chino Boys Home or something out in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
It was wild.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could relate, I'm sure.
Doors getting kicked out of door jams and
Oh, yeah.
just all sorts of crazy stuff that some of it I would never get into.
Not that I will get into this, but at one time in life, I was that kid in there. So I can relate.
You can relate to
very, very well.
Yeah.
But that's where we met, 2012. We didn't have much contact. I mean, I try to get him to go to the gym to work out a few times. That's kind of like my anchor in life's working out.
Yeah.
Maybe just a dopamine release. But 2022, maybe I put out the feelers. Hey, I might be starting a security company. At this point, I was I was loving where I was working at, my day job at the security firm that I was doing HR for. It was great.
That's really your life's passion, right? Is HR?
Yeah, I would say HR. But, security has been all my experience in life.
Yeah.
I was loving the job, loving the company. Stuff happened. I wasn't loving it so much. So what did I decide to do? Let me just see, what I've been here 7 years. What else is there? And it was like a light switch. I said, I don't have to stay here and deal with this shit. I don't have to,
And that is the impetus for almost all new companies.
Yeah.
Well, I don't got to stay here and deal with this shit.
I got so many,
Light bulb.
job offers so fast.
Yeah.
I was out.
Yeah. It's like, why would I ever just stay here when I can work twice the amount of hours for way less pay at a lot more risk with 100 times more headaches?
Absolutely. I was like, you know what? No, but it was actually like a light bulb moment. I put in applications on Indeed. Things started to happen. I got an interview. They said, we want you now. I was like, this is weird because I've always been at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, now you're at the top.
And it was like, okay. So I did that. Now I'm in a corporate America.
Yeah.
Not at the very top, but very close.
Yeah. You've climbed the hill.
And then it happened again. So I'm here at the bottom. The company I'm with gives me the opportunity to do more. I say, hey, I'm tired of this shit. Whatever the shit was. I mean, it's been a while ago. I moved here. And then within a year, I'm here. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Have I earned all of this? But it gave me the confidence to say there's something else besides me clocking in 9 to 5, sitting at a desk, or going to a warehouse, getting on a forklift, working 8 hours for the small check. There was some resentment to the standard process of work life in America.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do a shout out to one of our former Backseat Ballers, Skylar Alexander of Stag Homes. He posted this quote that I read today.
Okay.
I don't know how, I've never heard it. You're going to love it.
All right.
A dog eats every day, but wears a collar. The wolf goes a long periods of time hungry, but is free.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Freedom is what it's all about, I think, if it boils down to it.
And when you think about everything you're willing to deal with, put up, and sacrifice for freedom, right?
Everything.
Everything.
Absolutely.
And if you're not willing to give up everything for it, put the collar on and go to work for someone else.
I would rather suffer and be free.
Yeah.
And we've all done it. I think anyone that's a position of business owner.
Yeah.
Has had to.
And don't get me
that.
wrong, the wolf needs a lot of dogs wearing collars. So it's not a bad thing. I'm not putting anybody down.
Right.
I'm just saying, because I also believe you are what you are.
I've always wondered why everyone doesn't have that light bulb that turns on.
Yeah. And I don't think, and I used to think everybody needed to. And I used to look down on people who didn't think like me. And I've learned over the time that there's nothing wrong. You don't want all wolves, and you don't want all dogs.
Right.
Right. You don't want all entrepreneurs. And so what I try to do to be in alignment with my authenticity is I try to structure all my employees in such a way that they're not just an employee, but they're an employee and they have their own little business within the business.
Right. I remember.
So they have that entrepreneurial potential and freedom, even and that it's almost like we're all coming together as some a little bit of entrepreneurs in a sense, as much as I can do so within a corporate structure.
Right.
Right. And I'm hoping that what that results in is a corporation that, as it grows, stays nimble, stays creative, doesn't get bogged down in.
And I've never heard of a company allowing their employees to have a door right there that they can walk through. Yeah. It's normally, hey, what can we do to keep them here, keep them focused on this? Yeah. This is their life. Wake up, think this.
Yeah.
Go to sleep. You're still thinking about tomorrow, this company, everything.
Yeah.
And so giving someone the freedom, they may not choose to go through the door. It's there though. Yeah. And the only person they can't blame corporate America at that point. Yeah. You have to look at yourself. Yep. Maybe you don't want to. That's fine. Maybe you don't want the risk. Not everyone wants to jump, I promise.
Yeah, no. The majority don't, and I get that. And like I said, I used to judge people negatively for it. And now I just accept people for what they are, and I accept people for what they aren't, and I accept myself for what I am and for what I'm not.
Right. No, absolutely. I love that. So I do love that. And I think if that was provided to me as an opportunity, I think it's just me. I would have went for it, but it wasn't. So, I had to sit there and wait for the light bulb to turn on to say, okay, Aaron,
yeah,
you can do this. You can do this better. You can do this for yourself. And, I would say the rest is history. I just moved in that direction. And, what was really exciting last September. Now, last September, I am a regional HR at Pepsi. I have multiple warehouses here in the Kansas City area that I'm over. I work with the GMs of those warehouses. I got to a point that I said, I think my corporate career is over. So I worked all those times, getting to the next level. I get there, but I'm like, wait, my company's at a position where I can go there full time and put all my energy into that.
Yeah.
And so.
And I want to highlight something. So here you are. What was your position at Pepsi again?
HR director.
HR director. Okay. I'm guessing a decent paycheck.
Absolutely.
Decent benefits.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your security company had been around for, at that point, 3 years?
A little over 2 years.
Over 2 years, going on its third year.
Mm-hmm.
right? So how much were you working doing your HR job as director of HR for Pepsi
Right.
and your security
I
company?
felt like all the time.
All the time.
Even when I'm driving home, I'm working mentally on next steps for project A or B.
Yeah.
Or, oh man, I got to get out to this client that I have security officers at and make sure everything's good and see if we can renegotiate the contract. And oh, I got 10 employees at Pepsi that are upset with their supervisor. Now I got to have one-on-one meetings. And then,
now, how old are you?
38.
Okay. So one of the things that I've experienced, you have, because of your position,
Right.
owning a company, do you have young men that come to you that want mentorship or advice on how to start a business and own a company and have the things that you have because you own a company and you're doing what you're doing?
I would say at least once a week, someone asks.
Once a week.
Someone just asked. They don't ask directly that, but hey, I was thinking about starting my own company, whatever it is.
Yeah. Has a single one of them taken action and done it?
Zero. No. And not only that, I encourage them. Hey, if you do this, give me a call. Let me help you.
Absolutely.
If you need anything to kind of get off the ground, I could probably help you.
Okay. So once a week, you're batting 1,000 for zeros. Okay. So one of the things that I find super interesting, I'd love to get it. What is there? So I think I've gotten to the point to where I mean, it used to happen to me all the time. It doesn't really happen anymore. Okay. And I would have young men come in, and I've had guys that look like the epitome of a man.
Right.
6'4", 225 pounds, fit, fantastic mustache, great jawline. They look like a man.
Right.
Right. And I remember one distinctly. I asked them, they always want to come work for me. And I'm like, yeah, sure. They're like, well, how much are you going to pay me? I'm like, well, I'll pay you exactly what you're worth. Nothing.
It has to start at zero.
And I'm like, well, I love what you just said. And they look at me like, well, how can I do that? I'm like, the same way I did. I woke up at like 2 a.m, went to UPS. I slung boxes so I could have health care for my family. And then I'd go to a gas station when I got off at like 6:37 in the morning with a duffel bag with a change of clothes and wet wipes. I'd strip down in a stall. I'd wipe myself clean. I'd put on a dress shirt, slacks, belt, socks, shoes, and tie. And I'd go to my day job that paid me nothing, in the hopes of being able to quit the UPS.
Right.
Right? I get how many times in my life I've had to do stuff like that, right? Work multiple jobs. And I said, why don't you do that? And the response was, well, I guess I value my free time too much. And while I give him credit for being honest.
Right. That is not the perspective. That's not a winning perspective in business.
No. I don't even know how that's a winning perspective in any aspect of life.
I see it all the time. Hey, you've been complaining about being, tight on cash.
Yeah.
I got overtime for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go drink beer with the buddies, throw some darts, play in my band, hit around to golf.
I get both sides of the story, but when I was hungry, I would work 16.
Yeah, you're hungry.
16. I had kids at home, 2 and 4 and 10. And hey, babe, I have goals. We have bills. You're not working.
Yep.
I have to. So I'm sacrificing all my time.
All of it.
Happily. Well, to an extent.
But, I don't know that it has to be happily. I think it's a recognition of necessity. And I think as a man, right, people ask me all the time, are you happy? And I'm like, that's never one time in my life crossed my mind.
Right.
To try and figure out if I'm happy. Like, happy's not a thing. Like, I don't think, and it might sound super screwed up, and maybe there's some therapist somewhere that are going to like call me and offer their services. But to me, I'm a man. Happy's not in the equation. Do I feel fulfilled? Do I have purpose? right? Am I driven to do the things that I want?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy to me is for children, dogs, and women.
That is a common social theme I see on YouTube or Facebook saying, hey, half of the men are complaining, what about me? I want to be happy. And the other half are saying,
Yeah.
why?
Why?
That's not fulfilling.
Are you fulfilled and do you have purpose?
I think fulfilling should be a better word moving forward. Are you fulfilled?
Yeah.
Versus are you happy? Because what is that even?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Right?
Are you fulfilled? Are you? I use the word hungry.
Yeah.
Are you hungry, or are you content and happy? I guess is.
Yeah, and I think content and happy is a disease.
I always am fearful to take my foot off the gas.
Yeah, why?
I remember being at the bottom of the totem pole, looking up and saying, "Man,
yeah,
I had the drive then. I just didn't have the know-how, the opportunity, or maybe the self-confidence to make it happen." But my foot's been on the gas since forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny. I used to pride myself. I felt like I lived a life without fear. And then one day it hit me, and it hit me hard, that I live a life completely driven by anxiety because I've lived life poor.
Right.
And I've lived life not poor. And the anxiety of ever being back to poor.
It's earth shattering. It could stop. It could really give you heart palpitations, actual anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
Panic sets in sometimes. You just can't help it.
Yeah.
You start breathing weird.
And I don't think, and to clarify this, right? Because I think a lot of people misunderstand what drives business owners. I even had a really good friend of mine who I consider to be extremely intelligent make a comment to me that he felt as if it was fact, that the bulk of all people that are successful inherited it and received it from their parents.
That's the worst.
And I told him, I go, you're absolutely wrong. In fact, 2025 was the first year in which the bulk of wealth in America was held by people who didn't accumulate it themselves. But they're not who you think they are. What has been happening that has caused the bulk of all wealth to be held by people who didn't earn it? Who's the demographic that has now tipped the scales to cause that?
That's a great question.
It's baby boomers whose parents are passing.
Okay.
So you're talking about people who are in their 60s that are inheriting funds from the passing of their parents who are in their 80s.
Right.
This is not how people perceive wealth when they perceive some 20, 30-year-old or even a 40-year-old. I was driving out of Arrowhead and in my G-Wagon Foursquare, and I had a guy yell, "Daddy's money." I'm like, I am the daddy.
I was going to say, yeah, I am daddy.
I am daddy.
That's great. I don't know. And maybe if I thought back to when my perspective was still work hard, earn your living, work for someone else, you'll all be fine. I would look up at the top and say, ugh, how can they, now understanding the process that you have to go through to get anywhere near to the top, it's not the same. And I don't expect everyone to understand unless you go through that process.
Yes.
But there is so much more effort than effort, emotions, time, sacrifice that goes into climbing that ladder on your own than anyone can imagine. And of course, there's a popular social movement, F big corporations. I get it, but those corporations started from somewhere. So what happens if I grow to 10,000 employees? Now everyone's like, F Black Stack Security, those big corporations.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how it started,
Well, it's not how it started. And by the way, you can't grow to be that big corporation without providing value and benefit.
Right.
It's literally not possible. And there's two just the other day, May 1st, I'm pulling out a Tesla, and there's two of the most stereotypical white 70-year-old liberal women sitting in their lawn chairs with a sign, take down Tesla, Elon this, billionaires that. And I'm just sitting there going, where'd you buy your chairs from? Walmart? Target? Where'd you buy your cell phones from? Apple? Samsung? Google? Where'd you get the markers to make your cute little poster boards from? Again, Walmart? Target? How'd you drive here? You might not have driven a Tesla.
Right.
Did you drive a Volkswagen? Think of all the cars the Volkswagen Group owns. Volkswagen, Audi, Bugatti, Lamborghini. They probably didn't drive those last two.
Right.
Right? But there's a slew of them, right? All founded by an actual Nazi.
All the German car makers.
Well, they're all part of the Volkswagen Group, which was Hitler's automotive manufacturing company.
Fair.
Okay? Like an actual real Nazi, right, is where they all stem from, right? And I don't think there's anything like today. How does that even matter? To me, it doesn't. But it's just funny that people want to, take down Elon, whatever, for political views or whatever. And it's like, here you are, the clothes on you, your entire lifestyle, the ease at which you go through this life, all came because a company was able to get to the point to where economy of scale enabled them to provide something to you in an insanely affordable way. And so you could stay small. And any number of risks are going to occur to put all your employees out of a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's harder for you to compete. It's harder for you to afford health care, retirement plans.
So much into it.
It's harder for you to survive economic downturns. It's harder for you to get contracts that are lucrative to be able to provide pay raises. It's harder for you to provide proper vehicles for them.
Growth is the only thing that opens those doors.
It is the only thing that opens those doors. And then AOC's moronic ass, just in an interview, was talking about how you can't earn $1 billion. And then she gives the only ways you can get to $1 billion. They're all screw workers over, commit fraud, steal. It's like, no, none of that allows you to become a billionaire. Those are all things that prevent you from being a billionaire, you moron. Those are the things that a government does to steal money. To become a billionaire, I have to attract workers. I have to attract clients. That's how you become a billionaire.
You have to have services that are worth it.
Yes.
And none of that comes with anything less than sacrificing everything.
Everything.
All the time.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. It is funny. I was just having this conversation with my fiance, and she said no one should be a billionaire because they're looking at the inequality of life from the top to the bottom.
Correct.
Everyone, maybe $1 million, that should be the cap. And I'm like, well, what about NFL players? What about NBA players? What about, movie stars or all these different jobs that provide lots of
isn't it
income?
interesting that the movie stars and the athletes and the musicians are never attacked by people on the left? But the business owners,
They're the first ones. And oftentimes, depending on the process of their business, they are the most vulnerable. So,
yeah.
I mean, unless you're Kanye and you have some anti-Jew semantics you want to put out there, then they'll attack you. Other than that, you're pretty safe, I would say. I don't know why I'm not a billionaire, but what happens if I do become a billionaire? Now I think to myself, do you not like me anymore?
Yeah.
Or are you mad at me now?
Yeah. Yeah, and the only way you're going to get there is through innovation and innovation that drives your company to have a differentiator in the marketplace with proper management and allocation of resources in order to be able to scale and attract people and employ people and everything else. It's the only way you're ever going to get there.
Right. Yeah.
And yet that's viewed by half the country as being bad and evil.
Already in our security firm, we're looking into expanding to St. Louis.
Awesome.
Because we do such a great job with our clients here. They have properties in St. Louis,
They want you
and
there.
they want us there.
Yep. And that's how it grows organically
Yep.
because you're doing something right.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing we do right now is communication.
Isn't that funny? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you don't have to innovate. You just got to do the basics better than anyone else.
I promise most of the key stakeholders that make the decision on service contracts, their biggest complaint is, we have complaints. We send an email. No one responds. We make a call. No, we can't get a hold of anyone. We leave a message. And I guess that could happen when you're dealing with these worldwide companies and they just have a branch here in the area. But I still feel like the managers or the supervisors or the company reps should be able to handle that. It's not that difficult. Maybe I'll change my view on how difficult it is when I jump from 30 to clients to 30,000. But at the moment,
or you're going to remember how important it is, and you're going to innovate in some way in the decision-making hierarchy to empower people so that they still communicate.
That's it.
Right?
I've already done that now. I have a supervisor. I said, hey, your job, you're going to be the point of contact for all the clients. Something happens, you're going to, even though they get a report via email, you're going to call them. You're going to email them directly. Hey, just want to make sure you see this happen, ABC. They love it. They do not get that kind of service.
I bet they do.
In the security industry. And I've worked for 7 or 8 different companies. They just don't. So basics are important.
Well, without them, it's funny because there's been times where I've been trying to focus on innovating different things and I've let the basics drop. And nobody cares about this if you're not fulfilling the basics.
Right.
If you don't have the basics locked down, nothing else really matters.
It's kind of like the hierarchy of needs, the Maslow's. You got to have the bottom before you can go to step 2.
Yeah.
And, if the bottom starts cracking, the others are going to start,
falling down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just difficult to maintain that because that's one function that I have to do out of endless amount of functions. I feel like, payroll, taxes, issues, employees, growth, marketing, all these things combined. Yeah. And so my hats are always off to any business owner that regardless of the company success, that just put in the time and effort and just, had the drive to do something else. Yeah. It's for a lot of people scary, but it's so rewarding when you can take a step back because, I'm here today. If I was still at corporate America, if I had to be here, I'd have to put in PTO or get approval.
Yeah, but think of how many business owners can even step away from their business for a couple hours.
Not many, I would say.
Not many. Right? And so whether it's on the corporate side and having to put in the PTO and all the rest of that, or it's on the small business side and having to be capable of stepping away and having other people that you've empowered able to make decisions without talking to you, right? It's still something that has to be developed and navigated.
The art of delegation is a very great skill to have.
So that was what I was going to ask you. When you think of all the different hats you're wearing, you named off a bunch of them. What have you done to manage all those different hats?
Well, right before this interview, maybe the cameras were rolling. I got a call. It's my security supervisor. He said, hey.
Cameras were rolling, but it'll be edited.
Okay. Hey, my phone's going to be off. Handle it. And I trust him to handle it. Awesome. He's already shadowed me and my partner and understands kind of our approach and perspective and best responses and all that. So any kind of client concerns, they just go to him. So now I don't have to worry about, The client's calling my phone, dealing with A, B, or C. Now, any security concerns in the city, we have a 24/7 dispatch line. We have dispatchers. They answer the phone. They'll analyze the issue. They'll call the supervisor or send an officer out there. None of that involves me, but that's really the busy work. This time last year, it was all me or my partner. We answered the phones. It came to our cell phone. We were the ones that were driving to respond to issues. And so I think with growth, it's important if you want any kind of, not break, but I can't focus on all this over here if I'm answering the phones, responding to issues, putting in the reports, doing all the paperwork.
So the first time that you hired somebody to do work you were doing,
right?
Was it a difficult mindset shift because it was like, I got to take this money out of my own personal pocket that I need to hire someone to do this job instead of me doing it myself?
It was, because you never want to take a step back, but that's such a small viewpoint. If you have a larger view, you're taking the step back because now it's going to open doors for you to grow many more steps. Yeah. But without taking that step back and putting people in the positions to help, you're only one person.
Yep.
And so, I mean, eventually I'll focus directly on acquisitions or sales or something very specific. We'll grow to a point where I don't have to do payroll. We don't do scheduling anymore. But prior to this, we had to do scheduling, had to do the hiring. I think I'm going to have someone be able to recruit /hire/interview. That stuff we still do. So there's steps coming up where it's going to relinquish some responsibilities.
You're gonna get more and more of these hats off your head.
And then I can really put all my energy and time into the direction of the company growth and how to add the most value to the services we provide.
Yeah.
But I can't do that yet.
No.
I mean, I could do a little bit, but
so that's another great question I want to ask you. So when you're thinking about all these things you want to do, right? Yeah. They all take money, and you always have a limited amount of money,
right?
Like, I don't care what company you are.
Yeah, there's always
you can
a limit.
Be Meta. You might have way more money than we'll ever have, but you have bigger, more lofty aspirational goals than what we'll ever have. The goals and what we want to do, I think, always cost more than the money that we have.
Absolutely.
And I've recently been listening to a book called The Algorithm, written by the president of Tesla, CEO of Tesla.
Okay.
For like 3 years during Musk through some of their most critical times. And he was talking about how, they were running on 3 months cash. And at any moment they were on the brink of bankruptcy. And they had to really learn how to allocate resources to the most important things, right? And so as a business owner with these goals and these aspirations, and you're looking at clients wanting you to move into St. Louis, are there guide rails? Is it just gut instinct? Is it discipline? Like, how do you choose where you're spending capital to grow and how you delay and push things out till later?
I'm glad you mentioned that book. I haven't read it, but you said the company was 3 months out and they had to figure it out. I've read a lot of books, or I've heard a lot of stories.
And they were that way for years, by the way.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right.
They ran off of 3 months cash in the bank. And at any minute, you know how that is.
Yeah,
I do.
Absolutely.
At any minute, if what's supposed to happen doesn't happen, you're out.
So, although I love all my clients, let me start the conversation with that. Oftentimes, I'm at the mercy of accounts receivable.
Yes.
So, even though I may have $500,000 money owed to me, if it doesn't come on time, what do I do? Well, I start stressing.
I mean, in a communal socialistic society, all your employees fully understand this, and they know that you didn't get paid. Why would they be paid? And they're all fine waiting, right?
I thought long and hard, would anyone go for that? Hey, we're a team. We're going to make this.
We're a team. We're all in this boat together.
I said I would just lose 40 people that day. So
yeah, you would.
That is
Yeah, you
never
would.
an option.
I wonder if that's part of the reason why you end up with all the money in the end.
You know,
He who eats last
eats the most.
eats the most.
By any means necessary, my employees get paid.
Absolutely.
Any means necessary.
Yeah.
Even whatever that looks like, it's probably going to be different for different businesses. Some months, all the invoices come, and others we weren't expecting that owe us from last year that, it's great. Okay, perfect. Now we have a bit of wiggle room. We could breathe a little freer. We can get some more vehicles for the guys. We can upgrade our dispatch and monitoring center. Hey, I can hire a marketing firm that actually has, prospect list of people that need this service, and they're going to go after them. They're going to get us interviews in person or meetings in person to help expand services and grow. But I can never tell anyone a straight answer when that happens. I'm always at the mercy of accounts receivable. Yes, it'd be great. People have said, your company is going to do 3 million this year. What do you mean you don't have enough money to go do ABC? Well, cash flow and revenue are not the same, and it's hard for people to understand that. So, employees are priority, and then of course, legal and any obligations that have to do with regulations and restriction are next. That's GL. That's workers' comp. That's all the insurances you have to own a private security company. Yep. And then the tools of the job for the employees, the vehicles, the radios, the uniforms, that's all priority. So I think the last on my list is expansion, because that's just how it has to be. If I would stop providing employees company vehicles to use, would they say, well, I'm just going to go find a different job? Yeah. If I stopped providing employees, free uniforms, because a lot of companies make them pay for the uniform.
No way.
Yeah. Hey, here's the uniform. Here's your gear. It's going to be, $270. You don't have a gun. That's fine. Rent it for us. X amount of dollars comes out of your paycheck each pay period until you buy your own. And they never do. And
yeah, I could see telling people you get X number of new uniforms every so often. And if you've,
mess them up,
and you need more, then that's on you to pay for. I could understand something like that, because you want people to take care of stuff and not just expect you to constantly bleed it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, no. The company I was with, two companies I was with, they make the employee pay for their own security license, which is about $130 unarmed, $250 armed. And they will reimburse that employee if you stay with them for X amount of time.
Oh, okay. They have high turnover.
They do. 120%. Oh, yeah. I would hire 400 people and we'd fire 400 people.
Wow.
More of a staffing agency approach. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, so if I'm being honest, the biggest struggle as a business owner that I've had and continue to have and will continue to have is juggling growth and where I put money into marketing or any kind of company advancement, and just being able to get paid from the services I provide. Yeah. Because the clients want the services now. Well, I start a new client. Okay, I bill at the end of the month. So that's 30 days. So that's 2 payrolls I'm fronting.
Yep.
Hey, we're on a net 30. Okay, so that's 30 more days. So now it's 2 months I'm fronting payroll before I get that first invoice. If they're on time. And sometimes, our accounts receivable, they'll do it next Friday. That's when they cut checks. I'm like, okay, so now it's 75 days from the time I started. It just limits growth. You just kind of have to wait a bit. Yeah, that's definitely the biggest problem I feel that I have. And fortunately, I've read about a lot of other companies have very similar issues just with cash flow.
Yeah.
I get it. You're a $1 billion company. That is, some of these companies operate in losses.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, hey, yeah, we made $1 billion, but we spent $1.1 billion.
Yeah. And you're the little guy. The guys who ain't getting paid.
And so I don't feel too bad. It always weighs on me. It's always in the back of my mind. One lawsuit, one major work comp incident, one employee not handling a situation correctly that could end up being someone gets injured, whether it's the employee or the, I don't want to say suspect, the person they are engaging with.
Yep.
So that's always on my mind, and I'm not sure I'll ever get to a level where that's not. And maybe that's healthy because everything I do is always about safety.
Yeah.
Always about
risk mitigation.
Yeah, that's it. Risk mitigation.
Yeah. So how much of your workforce is women?
I would say 15%.
Oh, okay.
More than you'd think, I guess.
Yeah.
And actually, one of our employee of the month last month is went to KCPD, went through the academy, was a beat cop. The staffing was so bad that she was forced overtime like all the time, every day, always away. Has 2 young kids, decided I need a better work-life balance.
Wow.
Came to us. Perfect.
How cool is that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade on the police departments.
Yeah, it didn't work for her.
But yeah, I'd say about 10 to 15%. So 6, 7 female employees.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So where do you see, is there a future in the security industry? Because I know crime had spiked during COVID.
Right.
Which is, idle hands are the devil's playground.
Agreed.
So are you out there trying to, like, as a side hustle, create the next pandemic to put on everybody to increase your security company's needs or the need of your security company? Like, where do you see the future of security going? Is there advancements, being made? Like, are you going to have like a warehouse that's just got all these drones that go in and out of it all day long and circle around buildings with cameras?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Are you on Elon's list to start getting the robots that he's manufacturing, and you're just going to station robots?
I thought about all that.
Like RoboCop.
No, absolutely. I firmly believe a blended, is the word I like to use, approach to security is always going to be most successful. And a blended means an officer in person, and some sort of technology, whether that's cameras, whether that's drones, whether that's mobile surveillance units, whatever that is. But if, for example, we have a warehouse, 100 acres. Well, yeah, it might be beneficial to have drones flying the perimeter, looking up from a bird's eye view down. But what's that drone going to do when it sees a person breaking in the fence or trying to steal a car? Is it going to fly close to it and hopefully scare it? No, someone's going to have to deal with that.
Well, so this is going to sound crazy, but a friend of mine who has more money than what he knows what to do with, he has 3 robotic AI-powered dogs with flamethrowers mounted to them, and they patrol his property. That's a huge liability, the flamethrower thing. I think that was just for fun. But they're pretty wild. They're like $20,000 a pop.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty bad. They got cameras and lights and audio, and the flamethrower is a little much. But they legitimately have flamethrowers.
I would be in prison. Here's why. I would say, please leave
but
now.
But mine is the flamethrower,
right? Okay, so drones have...
But I think those robotic dogs to have on properties with cameras and audio and lights. But yeah, I do see what you're saying, blended approach. Even with the, because 100 acres, that's a lot for humans. You'd have to have a lot of humans.
Right.
And I even think with the flying drones, that's to stay up long enough.
There's been a lot of advancements with drones, and they become really popular in the last 12 months. I'd say the biggest concern when I look up crime/drones, criminals adapt.
Yes.
They're not dumb. So I'm seeing more and more cases of drones being jammed. RF jammers.
All right.
So I have this $20,000 drone flying in the air. I want that car. Sure, RF jammers are illegal, but what isn't illegal?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone, not everyone.
Put up a sign, RF jammer free zone. It works so well in schools.
So if I'm a criminal and I jam that drone, it's going to be down. I'm going to get the car and I'm going to leave. Now, what's the camera company seeing monitoring that drone? I don't know. The screen goes black or the communications.
Well, and does the drone drop out of the sky and you just burn 20 grand?
Does it injure someone? Does it cause more damage
to the building? Land on another car?
Yeah. What underwriter sits and think of who owns that liability? Because I don't want that job.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be. I just don't feel there's ever going to be a point where you cannot have a physical person in some capacity. Whether that's, hey, if the drone picks up something, we have a quick response officer that'll come and deal with it. They don't have to be on site the whole time.
Yeah.
But who is going to mitigate that risk? Drones, cameras, surveillance units, they monitor the risk. They can attempt to deter it with flashing lights or loud sounds. Who's going to deal with it?
Yeah.
And so that's why, for me, blended approach will always be a thing. Now, if we get to a point where AI can handle humanoid robots that can force someone into handcuffs without breaking their arm, maybe. But, I still feel like there'd be a human operator in the back end listening to what that person's saying.
Yeah.
So now, instead of just paying an officer, you're paying someone to listen. You're paying for the upkeep of that robotic. I'm super excited to see where security and technology end up in 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I think it'll be things we never thought of because there's so many brilliant minds. Everyone's on it. AI, everything, it seems, that's going to apply to every industry. Security is not excluded. I just feel currently you have to have someone to deal with the problem. Whether that's arresting.
Yeah, but similar
detaining,
to like a dispatch room, right? Where you got one guy monitoring multiple cameras. You could have one person or like Waymo. Is it Waymo, the autonomous vehicle? But they have a person that's capable of taking over that vehicle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So the driverless vehicles, and with one person taking over, allow one person to monitor maybe 20 different Waymos.
Right.
Right. And then when one of them gets stuck, they can take that one over and fix it, release controls. It goes back to being autonomous. Right. And so I think AI is, like you said, you'll have people, but it's going to enable people to manage more properties.
No, that's fair. I mean, that's what they do with the drones. They have a automated patrol route.
Yeah.
And it's varied, so no one can just guess. It's not the same one over and over. But if something comes up and that person monitoring the cameras, oh, what is this? They can take control of that drone and handle it from there. But again, if I have a drone looking at my face and I'm a criminal and I want this car, or I'm going to break into this office or whatever the case is, what are you going to do? You're just going to watch me, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So your future expansion right now, obviously you continue to grow in Kansas City.
Right.
You have the human end of it, but then you've also started the cameras.
Yes. Yeah. Excited about those.
Yeah. That seems very affordable for people.
So, yes, officers on the ground is the most expensive.
Yeah. I mean, how many Steven Seagals and Wesley Snipes and Jason Stathams are there to hire in a community?
More Paul Blarts. There's definitely more Paul Blarts.
Wait, they're not all washed up, ex-spec ops.
And all those ex-spec ops are probably with
Blackwater
yes.
Services. What do
Academy.
they go by now? Academy.
Yeah, probably with Academy.
Are they still called Academy? They change their name pretty often.
They got to.
Of course.
No, I mean, so it doesn't take a Steven Seagal to be successful. If you have a good attitude, if you are good with people, communication's big.
Yeah, it's more, isn't it more being good with people than
That's
it
it.
is?
Verbal judo. That's an actual course that we teach in security.
Oh, that's awesome. Verbal
Using
judo.
your words to de-escalate the situation. I could be big and buff and tackle you, but why would I do that if I could just
talk you down?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be hard pressed for a drone to do that. Of course, there's two-way communication, but if I'm a person in distress or upset,
Yeah, you're missing on the human element.
correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, the cameras are exciting because we just rolled that out maybe 3 months ago. We have mobile surveillance units that has, the solar panels and the lights, and we could talk through it. But it's great to place them in remote locations. Construction sites are ideal because they probably don't have power lines running to it where we can hook up a traditional camera, or they're so far out they don't have internet or cell service yet, whatever the case is. But that's step one. Step two is growing that, obviously, but then where does AI come in that we can leverage to make this even better? AI is on the software side of monitoring. So one person, instead of can only watch, 4 or 8 cameras, they can watch 400 to 800 cameras.
Yeah.
How, you ask? Well, AI has algorithms that are set by the company. It says if someone walks in this area between these hours, flag it. It flags it. That screen pops up. Look. Oh, nope. All clear. Continue. Oh, there's someone breaking in. Now we can take action. Go to that location. Deal with the threat. So AI is already helping in the camera industry right now, and it allows for scalability.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So what's your exit strategy? What's your long-term goal?
No one's ever asked me that. So that is a difficult question. What is my long-term goal? I mean, honestly, there's something about providing the opportunity for people to have a great job. I don't say it's a great job because it's my company. I listen to feedback, issues, concerns that have been brought up. I address, we deal with. We have regular meetings. We have monthly newsletters. We stay connected to the employees. But for example, that girl that left the KCPD and came to my company, her husband also works for the company. They have a family together. They work opposite schedules, and they love it. They're loving life. And I feel like I and my partner were able to provide that opportunity.
Yeah.
They've looked, they've job searched, they've worked in many other places. Now they could just be saying, "Oh, it's great here because they're here now," but
Now you had one working here and the other one came to work there. I mean, that says a lot.
So I am responsible for their whole family.
Yes.
If I flop, what happens to the family?
Yeah.
I enjoy being able to allow people opportunities.
Yeah.
Humbly, I'm not the king opening door,
No, this is a no king country. You know that.
That's right. But I think my end goal is to continue to provide safety, security, but also it's just a way that anyone in the security industry, or if security is their career, which it can be, absolutely, a great place to be at, because I feel so satisfied going home knowing I have 40 people. That's 40 families, and I'm responsible for the success or failure of those families, financially anyway.
Yeah.
It's a big
it's a weird thing, right? Because I don't believe anybody's all that important.
right.
I can disappear out the face there tomorrow. Nobody's gonna care.
Someone will care.
I mean, for real, right? like they'll care for a generation, right? My kids or something, for a decade or something, right? But all my employees, as much as they love this job, and there is I know for a fact there is no way they could go and replicate their comp, or close to it,
right?
Nowhere. It'll be fine without me. No one's that important. But at the same time, recognizing that, I feel exactly like you do. I feel like I have a huge responsibility, a huge weight on my shoulders to do the things I need to do,
Right.
to provide them an environment where they can take care of their families and they can provide for themselves and they can have growth and they can feel fulfilled and,
Absolutely.
have purpose.
Absolutely.
Right? Am I all that important in the financial industry? No.
Maybe.
But I feel that way about my clients too. I know my clients love me. They depend on me. They trust me. And they are always asking, what do I do if something happens to you? Well, guess what?
There's someone else.
There'll be a month, maybe 2, and you'll be somewhere else. And I'm not going to matter.
You know what else is cool? My 19-year-old, he works for my company. So now I provide, and he's 19, so he's had 5, 6, 7, 8 jobs, however many, they job hop until they figure out what you like, what you don't like, but no job pays as much as we do that he's had.
Yeah.
So he looks at it like, oh my God, this is great. I could finally take the next step. I look at it as, okay, I'm building something that I could help people, even if it's my son. My 17-year-old is going to be 18. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to stay at Olive Garden? You're going to come and start something? Either's fine.
Dude, but you don't offer breadsticks.
I don't offer breadsticks. That's important. And you got to get the Alfredo sauce to dip them in.
Oh,
yeah.
I like the 3 cheese sauce.
That's why I'm 280. It's not a thyroid issue. I just fucking eat Olive Garden. So,
yeah.
But no. So I guess the end game for me is to just have something that is sustainable long term that helps people.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So if a company liked those values and they felt they had a need for security services, how do they learn more about you, get a hold of you?
Yeah, Blackstack Security, Blackstack, one word. Just type that in. I am proud to say we're the first or second company that pops up on Google if you type
Fantastic.
just security.
Really?
In Kansas City. We had five stars up until 2 or 3 days ago. Someone gave us a 1 and said trash. I don't know who it is. Could have been a competitor trying to undercut the validity. But yeah, we got a website. Our number's on there. Sales, dispatch, whatever you need. Our email's on there as well. So just reach out and we could help assist anyway. I always like to start people, if they've never had security, giving them a very thorough property analysis, what you need, where your threats are, your vulnerabilities, how we can mitigate these risks. If they do have security, what are your pain points with your current service provider? Here's how we do it differently. And security is so congested. There's so many different companies out there. They come and go. It's so weird. It's like security company A, they start, they get a contract or 2, they shut down. Security company B, and they just keep popping up.
Yeah.
I think it's the same couple
Cash
of people,
flow.
Probably. Yeah.
Same people, same problems.
Yeah. So, yeah, just check out our website. Look at our reviews. I always point people towards our reviews. We're here.
Sweet. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to go snag some lunch, and then we're going to jump in the Jag and do a different take on an interview.
I got it.
All
yes,
right.
sir. Excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Yeah.